Or no, Pinball here. Well, that was an interesting weekend, huh? All started on Saturday with the Million MAGA March in D.C. and many other similar Stop the Steal marches all over the country. As usual, the marches were all peaceful during the day with tens of thousands of conservative patriots making their voices heard for all those that would listen. And as expected, the MSM ignored it, or for the few that decided to do a little snippet on the marches, downplayed everything and misconstrued the whole thing. Okay. You see, people who are peacefully making their stances known do not advance the media's narrative, so why bother telling anybody about it? Now, when night fell, that's when the losers from Antifa and BLM came out and all hell broke loose. I'd strongly advise everyone to go watch the video Prepper Now put out yesterday. It's entitled American Unrest, DC March Compilation. Okay, it's about 15 minutes of different cell phone video taken during the marches over the weekend. It's worth watching for a couple of reasons. First, I want you to look at all the people involved in this fiasco, okay? They're all young, cowardly, and only emboldened to do anything because they're part of a group. Take a look at the video clips when they're alone. They run like little babies home to mama. They hide behind the police, of course, who they hate anyway, okay? And then all they do is scream at everybody, foul language, whole 9 yards. But, that's who we're supposed to believe in. They're the right people here, okay? Second, I want you to look at what they're doing when they're in these groups, okay? They're berating women. They're berating women with kids, the small, the weak. Again, like I said, they're hiding behind the police because they're a bunch of basement-dwelling pansies. These Antifa and BLM posers are the ones that are causing all the problems we're facing in this country now. They're not the solution. They're the disease, okay? BLM is now demanding that Joe Biden, who they've been brainwashed into thinking is actually going to be president, that Biden owes them something because he supposedly got elected, okay? BLM themselves, on their own website and in interviews, have come out and said they're responsible for 60 million votes for Biden. Okay. He only got, supposedly, including all the dead people and the illegal votes and everything, 74 million. I'd say they're probably responsible for 60 million votes because that's all he got, okay? And he lost the election, he got trounced. But BLM, they're lucky if they're responsible for 6,000 votes because I'd say 99.9% of the country thinks they're a bunch of freaking losers that, if they fell off the face of the earth, it would be a good day, all right? That should tell you how delusional these leftists are. Folks, they're marauders, okay? They're exactly the people we're prepping to have to confront in an SHTF situation, okay? They're the ones who are going to continue to cause problems for you, for your security, your food supply, okay? Your food style, who cares? That's yours. But also your way of life. If you want to see the exact SHTF event that we're prepping for, watch Prepper Now's video. This is exactly what's coming to your neighborhood sooner or later. Think I'm kidding? Okay. Ask Jay Danielson, the guy who was shot and killed by Antifa in Portland on August 29th for walking down the street. Ask Andy No, the guy who's been beaten a couple of times just for the big crime of filming Antifa and their protests, okay? Ask the 5 cops in Dallas who were murdered by BLM. Ask Kyle Rittenhouse, okay? You get my point? This isn't a peaceful takeover of the United States government. It's an out-and-out violent coup, and the liberal elite are all too happy to watch all the bloodshed in the streets while they sip on their martinis and Cosmos at the Blue Duck Tavern. Okay. After all, the mental midgets of BLM, Antifa, the media, and big tech are all doing the dirty work for them. Why in the world would the shepherd get involved when the sheep are doing all the work? Okay. So now we move on to Sunday, And you get up this morning and the first thing the media is reporting is that Trump has conceded to Biden. Okay. As usual, it's fake news, but hey, when's the truth ever got in the way of the media writing a story lately? Okay. But the classic this morning was when CNN brought on Dr. Fauci on State of the Union with Jake Tapper. Okay. Fauci actually told Tapper that not only should Americans scale back Thanksgiving this year, but that American families should probably prepare to skip Christmas too. Are you ready to tell little Jimmy and little Susie that Santa's not coming this year because some anti-American blowhard said so? I'm sure as hell not. Okay. You want something even more ludicrous? Fauci said that masks and social distancing are here to stay, as well as that while a national lockdown doesn't seem to be imminent, if the situation continues to worsen, anything is possible. So this is what the elitists have planned for us serfs, okay? You can cancel your holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm sure Kwanzaa will get a pass, though, because, they've got to pacify BLM. You can expect to wear masks basically forever, and God forbid you ever get within 6 feet of another human being again, okay? They're all threatening, albeit subtly, to put us in a national lockdown, which of course will destroy the economy, and with that, our livelihoods and futures, okay? Do you want a reprieve from all that? Maybe we could be like Great Britain, where this weekend, behavioral experts advising the British government suggested giving people who test negative for coronavirus wristbands that would allow them to travel and enter venues, while those that didn't have a wristband would remain under lockdown. Think about that, okay? You see, the party of unity and tolerance is anything but. The left is trying to destroy the country and, for that matter, the world. They're going to stop at nothing to bend you to their will. That is where you, me, and every other like-minded person has got to step up. We can no longer be the silent majority. We've prepared, procured, planned, and trained to survive in a shit-hits-the-fan scenario. If what I've just explained that is going on right now isn't a shit-hits-the-fan scenario in your mind, then the only thing I think you could possibly be prepping for is a zombie apocalypse, or a mega asteroid, or a nuclear war. Things that are either so far-fetched or downright unsurvivable that you've been kidding yourself all this time with your preps, okay? When this lands on your doorstep, and it will, okay, whether in the form of a physical threat, or a financial threat, or a food threat, or a shelter threat, what is going to be your response? What are your expectations for coming out on the other side? More importantly, what are your plans to make sure your kids or your grandkids can come out the other side? Are you willing to fight to save your way of life and that way of life for your kids and your grandkids? Or are you going to be the one that is going to just accept it and live under the rule of oligarchs who have everything while you get the crumbs? I mentioned the depopulation plan that Bill Gates and the rest of the elites have a couple of days ago. Okay? They don't even hide their evil intentions anymore. The people they want to depopulate are the ones that will not bow to their will, i.e. you and me. Okay? You owe it to yourself, to your family, to your kids, as well as to your forefathers who fought and died so you could have the freedoms you have today. Are you willing to give that up? Okay. Abraham Lincoln said, "America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves." John F. Kennedy said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." So I ask you, what will you do for your country? At this point, keep prepping harder than ever. Food for your family, but also food for your compatriots. Your self-defense apparatus, I think we all know what I mean there. Make sure you have enough to feed it too, okay? Think you have enough? Double it. It's going to be a long, cold winter. The best time to start preparing was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Get on it now and get everyone else you know on board. The alternative ain't going to be pretty. Pinball out.